So I thought, if you're bringing all the sick in on buses and I'm paying for the buses, then why can't you bring me a bus full of lepers so my team can practice cleansing the lepers? They said, Todd, we have the caste system here in India. People with leprosy are like out of the society. They're lower than the lowest caste. You see somebody with leprosy on the street, you cross the street. Nobody goes near the lepers. I said, bring them to the meeting. Todd, if we bring the lepers to the meeting, the people may leave. They won't mix with the lepers. I said, well, we'll have a leper-only section right over here. Special seating in my crusade for the lepers. And sure enough, they brought a whole busload. It was the saddest thing that I've ever seen. Grandmothers that had lost their own daughters. Now the grandmother was holding their grandchild, had become the mother. Children as young as 7, 8 years old. Grandfathers, uncles, aunts, whole families. And every one of them was wrapped up, had bandages on their hands. Some, you could see blood, pus. Some of them were missing their fingers. And no, they didn't even want to look at you. They had so much shame. And the people didn't want to look at them. And at one point in my meeting, I said, preach the gospel. Everyone, yeah. Heal the sick. Yeah. Cleanse the leper. Oh. I said, come on, guys. There's the lepers. This is what we came for. And I remember when we stepped down off the platform, and I said, if you're going to really pray for the lepers, you got to get in there and give them a big hug. You got to make sure you get some of that leprosy on you. You got to show the devil you're not afraid. Do you remember this, Kent? Do you remember this? And when we went down, the people would shrink away from human touch. They wouldn't let us touch them. They would shrink away. Shame. And then they would start crying. Because they had never felt the human touch and affection of another human being without leprosy. Nobody had ever touched them. Nobody had ever embraced them. And when we embraced these lepers for the first time, just love, they would start weeping. Because it was the first time that they had ever felt human affection from any other human that did not have leprosy. That's the gospel. You're not going to cleanse any lepers if you don't pray for the lepers. You're not going to heal any sick people if you don't pray for the sick. And you ain't going to raise any dead people if you don't pray for the dead. I remember when I was really zealous about my God, I've seen every miracle in the Bible, but the dead's not raised.